Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in for another episode. Today's tip is such a good one. It's about how to take your hollow belly swim baits like this Berkeley one and make it as weedless as anything else without impacting the number of hookups you get when fish bite your bait. It's a super easy tip that we're taking from another concept that's been proven to work extremely well, and it works so well with the hollow belly swim baits. Before I get into this tip though, guys, I do want to remind you I've got a monthly live stream as well as additional content for all of my members. So if you're not a member yet, definitely check that out. You can go to my YouTube homepage, hit the join button if you're on a desktop, get all the information you need there. Otherwise, go check out the YouTube homepage on your mobile apps and then click the membership button and you'll find out everything you need there. Tips like this are what we have on the membership channel. And guys, this is a good one, so you don't want to miss this. All right, so a while back, I did a video about how to take a tube hook and insert it inside of your hollow belly swim bait so that you have an inserted head so it looks more natural, you get better movement, and your baits last 10 times longer because now you're not ripping the bait. You know, it just holds up so much better, guys. And I also did a long time ago a video on what's called the stupid tube. And the stupid tube is when you take an EWG style tube hook and you can rig the bait so that the weight is still internally inside of the tube, but yet you've got it Texas rigged and it becomes extremely weedless. Well, guys, I'm here to tell you that you can do the same thing with your hollow bellies. After all, a hollow belly is hollow because it's like a tube. You can see at the back end of it, there's a hole in the end, so it's hollow all the way down through the bait. It's an extremely versatile swim bait, but they also have been known to not hold up extremely well because they are generally, very soft baits. And if you're using a jig head on it, it doesn't work great. Well, in this case, we take the concept of the stupid tube combined with the way we inserted the tube hook inside of the swim bait. And now we're able to do the same thing with our hollow belly swim baits. We're going to make the stupid swim bait is what I'm calling it. So what you're going to need is an EWG style tube hook. These are the secret lures. This is a size 4/0, a 5/16 ounce size. The key here is you want a tube bait that's got a 60-degree line tie, generally works better. But you want the EWG style hook. You want the wider gap, and that's very important with this. So once you have the hook, you can take a pair of scissors and you're going to cut a slit right down the belly, about 1 inch to 1.5 inches long, just like that. So you can see here, I just slit the belly. So once you've got that slot, what you're going to do is take your tube jig head, and you're going to take the hook point, you're going to measure up where you think on the bait everything should line up. So in this case, if I'm holding it just like this, I'm going to have my eye up here, so my hook's going to come out roughly right here. So then I'm going to take my hook, put the point first through the slot that we did, and have it come out right where my finger is at the top of the bait. And then you're going to just slide the hook up and you're going to insert then the tube head inside of the bait. And then you're going to slide the head up into the top of the swim bait as far as it can go. Okay, once it's there, poke the eye of the hook through so that you can tie it on. And then you're going to push the hook back down and in, so that the hook shank, the bend of the hook, is right in the slot that you cut. And at that point, you're just going to go ahead and Texas rig it. And I've got it Texas rigged. So you can see that. You can see the whole hook is internal. The shank of the hook is sitting right in the slot that we cut. And this bait is completely weedless now because it's Texas rigged. So when you go to cast this, you can throw it into the heaviest grass, the heaviest brush. You can throw it anywhere and that bait's going to come through. When a fish grabs it, because it's hollow, it's going to collapse. So they're going to push here. So they're going to push the plastic down, which is just like a Texas rig. The point's going to want to come out, just like you're seeing right there. And the bottom of the mouth is going to push the top of the bottom of the hook up, which is going to push the hook out, and you're going to get as good a hookups as you get with any Texas rig, and really any other weedless form of a swim bait hook. So if you're throwing a weighted swim bait hook, you've got a big weight on the bottom part of the hook. You know, your hookups, in my opinion, are actually better, because a lot of times what happens is if you have that big lead weight sitting at the bottom, I'll pull this out. If you have that big lead weight sitting at the bottom of your hook, a lot of times when you set the hook, the fish's jaw will actually hit that and get stuck on it. So you don't pull the bait forward to penetrate the hook. In this case, you don't have any big lead weight hanging off the bottom of the hook, so that when it's rigged, it's just a straight, like, Texas rigged stupid tube type setup. I mean, it's as basic as it can come. I mean, you don't even have to, and then at that point, if you're fishing more open water, you just poke it through and you can use it just like that. You don't even need it to be Texas rigged. But the key here is you need to have a big enough slot so that it's not the bottom of your hook can push through it just a little bit if it needs to. And then at that point, you just rig it Texas style, and you've got a extremely weedless hollow belly swim bait that's going to last 10 times longer than using a jig head. And it's going to be something that allows you to present this bait in areas that fish don't normally get to see it. So guys, try it. The stupid tube, great way to make your hollow bellies that much better. So I hope this tip was helpful. If it was, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned. More videos coming out tomorrow.